The name Darrell Green in the Ring of Fame here at Northwest Stadium, but it's a bigger ceremony taking place at halftime here in Landover, Maryland. What a day it will be for all those who root for the burgundy and gold. And quite frankly, I don't know what to be more excited about, ladies and gentlemen. Is it the Commanders topping their win total from last year with a win over Carolina later today, or what's happening on the field at halftime with the legendary Darrell Green getting jersey number 28 retired for good? We will hear from Mr. Green a little later on in the show. We got a rare 4:05 home game start. Northwest Stadium is the site here in Landover, Maryland. We are WUSA 9, the official television partner of your Washington Commanders, and the place where you can watch today's game at 4:05. There is music in the building as they're getting ready, but it's 4.5 hours away, folks. I'm joined back in our DC studios by my guy, Wisdom Martin, and the former cornerback, another former cornerback of this Washington franchise, Sean Springs. And gents, it is a huge day here in Landover for the alumni who are here, a big turnout, but also for the current players.
Right. This is a major, Chick. Good morning to you. And this is major. You talked about it because not only is this a big game, but we're talking about Darrell Green, one of the greatest, not just in Washington history, but one of the greatest of all time, playing 20 years with one team, 1983 first-round draft pick, number 28, pick in the draft, and wearing number 28 for the entire career. This is a big day, and needless to say, it's about time, Sean.
It's been well overdue. And you talk about Mount Rushmore as a defensive back. As a defensive back who looked at over the history of defense back. I'm a student of the game. Darrell Green's, Deion Sanders, Michael Haynes, but Darrell Green is one of those guys, man, that every corner needed. Like, if you're trying to be serious about the game, watch him. Right. His longevity. Right. For a little guy, he was tough. He returned kicks. He was smart. He did everything right. And I mean, I can't. It's like almost hard to believe that his jersey is just now being retired here in Washington.
Well respected around the league. Well respected definitely here in Washington. All right, let's get to today's activities, today's action. You're coming off a loss against the Ravens, right? They are a good team. Now you play Carolina, which statistically 1-5, bad team. Andy Dalton, that offense, 29th ranked in the league, only 17 points per game. Defense not that great. Can we call this a get-right game coming off a loss, or do we say we need to make a statement here against the Panthers?
I would say we better realize that the NFL, everybody can beat you, and it's a trap game.
Oh, okay.
And here's why I say that. I think we will win today.
Okay.
But I don't want the fans to get too excited because they have a veteran quarterback and they got some pieces on offense. The defense is terrible, but Andy Dalton and the Carolina Panthers, they're going to show up and play. Right. They're going to show up and play, and I think you're going to see a lot about this team. We lost Jonathan Allen, so now you're going to say, you know, how do you lose a game, lose a player for the season? Right. B. Rob should come back, so you got to recapture that momentum, and I think that we will. But I think we have to be very, very careful. Like we got to go in and win this game. We got to beat the Carolina Panthers.
It's going to be tougher than people think.
Tougher than people think. I will win, but it'll be tougher than people think.
Okay. All right. Let's get back out to Chick right now. He's in Northwest Stadium. Chick, we've already said this is going to be a tough one.
No question about that. The reality is Carolina is just 1-5, so you might think that's a walk, as you guys talked about. But there's that old adage, any given Sunday. And last week's lesson in Baltimore is one to grow from.
Keys to the Game is sponsored by your Washington area Toyota dealers.
All right, time to talk about the keys to the game. And all right, Sean, now we look ahead to this afternoon's game against the Carolina Panthers. You have 3 keys to victory here. Your first one starts with running the football.
We have to run the ball. Last week against the Ravens, we weren't successful. We knew it was going to be a tough out, but we lost B. Rob. We didn't. We expect to get him back today. And I think against a Carolina defense that's not really good at all, we can establish the run. We can control the game through the run and through the pass. I think we have some big plays, but more so we got to get back on track and get B. Rob going.
Right. Last week, only 52 yards rushing without Brian Robinson. So that's a huge gain if he's able to play this week. All right, your number 2. You got to get better on third down.
We do. Andy Dalton is a quarterback that if you put pressure on him and you disguise the coverage a little bit, our secondary is going to have a tough challenge. They're going to tough out against Deontay Johnson out there. They're going to have Hubbard, so third and short. We have to be better and more aggressive in the back end, and we're going to have to challenge their receivers. And we're going to have to get off the field to give the ball back to our offense.
Right, and one of the ways you get off the field is to take the ball away from the other team. So far, we've only got one pick, so that's your third key is turnover.
Yeah, Andy Dalton and the Carolina Panthers, they turned the ball over. Last week he had 2 turnovers against the Falcons in a tough loss. But I think we can do the same. But we're going to have to challenge their receivers. We're going to have to force them turnover. And if we force turnovers in this game, we will win easily.
Right.
If we don't get turnovers and we just go back and forth, we could possibly see a shootout.
Right. Okay. Which, shootout's good if you're on the winning end of that.
We're going to be on the winning end.
Right. Right. All right. Now we want to send it back out to Chick. He's at Northwest Stadium. Chick, you never know what to expect. Like Sean said, any given Sunday, anything could happen.
Yeah. By the way, I said that first. Let's be honest. Okay, guys. Take that away from me. Okay. Look, there is a game today, and you know by now at halftime the legend Darryl Green will finally have his number 28 jersey retired. No one will ever wear number 28 again in the burgundy and gold. The Hall of Famer retired more than 2 decades ago. And in my exclusive convo with the head coach Dan Quinn every Monday, he says DG continues to inspire.
I thought all the attributes of what it stands for to be the type of player to play that long and to play that well